interactive. We're going right around the world. Be sure to share the stream around and leave comments throughout. It's time to take a look at the lineups, and for Abassad, his 4-3-3 shapes up with the back four of Will Angel, Tom Whiteside, Zach McKenzie and Jinya Ahn. Midfield three of Haji Gligor, Nikola Kaleski and Haris Gaitatsis, and a front three of Jason McDonis, Alex Sanchez and Radovan Kovicevic. And for Terry Palapanis, we mentioned his debut in the top tier, he names the following lineup in 4-3-3 formation. In goals, Anthony Bouzanis, a back four of Quinton Ching, Tarek Erkin, Harry Sutherland, Mark Warren, a midfield three of Pat O'Shea, Matteo Poliak and Raul Benet, and a front three of Blair Brown, Juan Carlos Romero and Jordan Morfitas. The bench for Abassad's host, Sydney Olympic. Goalkeeper Ezekiel Consoni and Jack Stewart. Dimi Petratos, you'll be familiar with that name. It is the cousin of the Newcastle Jets and Socceroo star, same name, Dimi Petratos. Also Darcy Burgess, Troy Danaskos and Jack Stewart. And for Terry Palace, the bench is goalkeeper Mitch Evans, his teammate last year at Sydney FC, Jeremy Cox, Thomas Papa, Brody Clarkson and Alex Lopez. They're your lineups for today's game of our officials for this round one clash. Adrian Arndt just getting ready to kick proceedings underway. His assistants Jack Bell, Yanis Adobju, and the fourth official is Harrison Safey. A pleasure to have your company. How good is this? Season 2019 of the New South Wales National Premier League about to get underway. We're with you live from Belmore. The champion Sydney Olympic in the blue kicking us off. Welcome to season 2019 of the New South Wales National Premier League. Ball with Jordan Morfitas, quickly pressed there by Will Angel. Morfitas playing out in that wide area for Terry Palapanis' side. One of these players that's come up from NPL 2. Over on the right-hand side now. The ball looking forward. Coming from Quinton Cheng, another player to get promoted from the second tier of New South Wales. Coming over from Central Coast Mariners Academy. The ball slightly overhit there. It's Olympic can come forward through Tom Whiteside. He looks long for Alex Sanchez. Happy to see it all the way through to another of the new signings. In fact, so many across this Sutherland Sharks lineup. Morfitas, one of those, trying to play forward here. Now it's back with the skipper, Mark Warren, who's come across from the Marconi Stallion. Now Bouzanis. He's ventured over from Harkoa. Challenge there from Mark Warren, the skipper. And the opposite skipper, Jason Madonis for Sydney Olympic. What a battle that'll be, the two skippers on the near touch line. Watch out for that one. The experienced NPL players, Mark Warren of course, and a taste of A-League action. Here's the ball forward from Will Angel, they're leaving it through there, coming forward out of midfield, and now it's Haji Gligor, putting pressure on the Sharks early. The flag's offside though. Manish Adabju on the knee. Sideline here, right on the spot. Olympic getting forward, streaming out of midfield there. Haji Gligor driving out of midfield alongside Jason Madonis there, putting a lot of pressure on the Sharks defence. What a baptism of fire it will be for the Sharks. I mentioned so many players stepping up from NPL 2 into the top tier along with the coach Terry Palapanis. It's been a good pre-season for them, a little bit of unsettling right at the end of the pre-season, losing a couple of key central defenders. A big test. Here's Raul Benet. Watch out for this guy in the NPL competition this season. Player who really set NPL 2 alight. Playing in the number 10 role for Terry Palapanis' side. Getting his first touch there. Sanchez for Sydney Olympic last season. 22 goals for him, 2 in the grand final. Saw that against Apia. What a season it was. 2 more Spaniards to keep an eye out on this season. Here's one of them, on Carlos Romero. Guys stay on the side there. Saw Pat O'Shea playing in that midfield alongside Mateo Poliak. 2 experienced players. Pat O'Shea lifting that one over the top for player known as JC, Juan Carlos Romero. Quinton Ching knocks it down to Tariq Urquhart. Skipper last year for St George in that premiership win in the NPL 2. Now forward for Morphetus, one of his teammates there at St George. Can't quite get that under control, but movement early from Jordan Morphetus. One of his real assets. Playing on the left side of the attack in that 4-3-3. Keep an eye out on him as well. The battle that'll be against Will Angel. There's Haji Glebor running with Angel. Now looking for Madonis. Overreading that one. Now Madonis looks inside. Pavicevic was first to it there. Safely into the hands of Buzanis. Standout season it was for him at Harkoa. A lot of work to do in the sticks. Moving to the Sharks in the off-season. Terry Calapanis' early signings. Harry Gay-Taxis in the midfield for Sydney Olympic. Keep an eye out on him. Number 10 for Sydney Olympic. Playing in that central attacking midfield position. Here's Koleski driving through the middle, trying to drive past O'Shea. Gets it out to that left-hand side. Chance to cut inside there, Pavicevic. Play on's the call though from Adrian Art. Now the ball's into the feet of Juan Carlos Romero. Switch of play looking for Morphetus. Can't quite keep it in. All there, ambitious switch of play from Blair Brown. Player we saw playing really in the holding midfield last season for the Sutherland Sharks. Either in that holding midfield or the centre of defence. In the pre-season, he's been shaping up on the right side of the attack. Where his technical skills, a real technical player. Working under pressure there. The elbow against him, so it's a chance just to set up for the Sharks. He started this one well. Under 6 minutes in here at Belmore. Round 1 action. How good is this? We've waited 6 months. And it's been a terrific start here. Olympic the champions, trying to put the pressure on the Sharks, but they've settled well early on. Looking to hit Juan Carlos Romero. Playing in that number 9 role, wearing the number 7 jersey. Certainly his combination with Raul Benet. Here he is, dropping for the ball and releasing. Back to Cheng. Now they come out through another of the youngsters here at the Sharks, Harry Sutherland. Made the step up from the under-20s. Looking for Morphetus again, battling away against Whiteside. Pressing high here, the Sharks. See already a bit of organisation. One of the real features of Terry Calapanis' style. Varying tactics. Does a lot of preparation against the opposition. You really want to test Olympic here, the champions. Make a statement early on. Knocked down here. Blair Brown can't bring it under control. It's forward by Koleski. Now Urquhart. Chance to play over the top for Blair Brown. Combination between him and Cheng. Blair Brown taking on Junior Arn, doing his job defensively, and now Zach McKenzie away. Urquhart again with the knockdown. O'Shea, 2 players that came across from St George FC in the NPL 2. Champions last season. Lifting the trophy on the grand final day at Lily Stadium. They had that featured for you on the live stream. What a great contest that was against the Mounties Wanderers. The team that Terry Pelican has moved to the midway point of the season. Took a couple of players with him. One of them was Raul Benet. Also, Carlos Romero, who didn't feature in that grand final. Obviously, he's brought some of those players that were with him at St George and the Mounties Wanderers up to this top tier. So far they've equipped themselves well. Here's Poliak, one of the experienced guys with a lot of A-League experience. Benet, perfect work from him in that midfield under heavy pressure there from Kaleski. Kept his composure, got it out to Morphetus. One touch there, see the quality. Certainly one to watch in that number 10 role throughout the season. Good fortune of seeing him last year in NPL 2. Here he is driving forward. Tom Whiteside getting to it first though. Battle already between him and Juan Carlos Romero. What season it was for Juan Carlos. 22 goals, 16 of those for St George in the first half of the season. Only 6 for the Mounties in the second half of the season. But what a season it was for this guy. Alex Sanchez driving forward. Sutherland doing the job there. Keeping away from goals as well in the end. Forces Sanchez wide. That'll be Sanchez against Erkin and Sutherland. A real test for the central defensive duo. Now an experienced NPL player, 4 seasons at St George, gets it forward to Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos taking on his play now, Raul Benet. Saw the combination there on the edge of the box. More encouragement for Palapanis' side. Looking to go long and early. He's Alex Sanchez at the other end. Now Erkin drops it into the midfield for Poliak. Carlos drops, and now Morphetus. Well, Angel having to be alert defensively. Morphetus asking a few questions early. Poliak with a good knockdown to Romero, and now it's Raul Benet. Keeps it, gets past Pavicevic, now Raul Benet. As his shot blocked, falls to Poliak. Already you can see the influence Raul Benet's having. To the feet of that number 10, saw him skip around Pavicevic there. And the Spanish imports. So that right across the A-League. Now we're seeing it in the NPL. Here's Morphetus. Trying his luck from long range there. Good job from him to win the ball high. A little bit ambitious there against Paul Henderson. Between the sticks, back between the sticks I should say, Paul Henderson. Had some surgery after that grand final win last year. 3-1 win, went under the surgeon's knife to clean out the knee. Had a long recovery from him in the off-season. 45 minutes in the trial game last week against the Southern District. And he's back in the starting side. 4 round 1 action. As it was from the keeper. Sutherland happy to play through Bizonas. One of his strengths, his ability on the ball. So that throughout the season at Hakoa last year, now Whiteside. A bit of defensive work again. Asking questions of this back four. Sutherland early on. No chances created. Henderson yet to be tested. They're on the front foot, looking to really put pressure on Sydney Olympic. Here is Warren. Now Raul Benet. Skips past one. Benet! Straight at the keeper in the end. Again, you saw him skip past the defender. Certainly pack a punch from range. Already seeing a snippet of his quality. in the opening 13 minutes of the NPL 1 men's season. Here's the ball over the top. Raul Benet turns again. And now he combines down the right-hand side. The flag's gone up for offside on that far side. Jack Bell. In good combination from Sutherland. Putting some pressure on. Asking some questions of the champion. The question for Sydney Olympic coming into the season. How do they replace Max Burgess? Made such an impression behind Alex Sanchez last season. Brought in Harry Gaytatsis from Rockdale City. A few players returning to Sydney Olympic. Here he is trying to press Harry Sutherland. Sutherland getting away with that one. In the end though, it's a foul against him. It's a free kick here to Sydney Olympic. Harry Gaytatsis doing a good job there on the press. Sutherland, one of the youngsters, stepping up out of the under-20s for the Sharks. Giving away a foul. So Junior Arms come across to take this one. I've seen Tom White go upside. He's threaded set pieces. Also Zach McKenzie's in there. Alejandro closer to the near post alongside Madonis. Here's Junior Arn going near post, a flick on. Good defensive work in there from the Sharks. Falls again though, McKenzie! And he gets down sharp. Does Anthony Buzanis. But good turn there from the Sydney Olympic central defender. Getting it onto the left foot. And Buzanis with his first bit of work. Here's O'Shea. Back at the Sutherland Sharks after a year at St George, as we mentioned. Was a real standout for Palapanis in that St George side. Pulling the strings out of that central midfield in that number 6 role. And now it's a set piece for the Sharks with Mark Warren over the ball. Into the 16th minute here at Belmore. Mark Warren. He's got a couple of targets for him. One at Mateo Poliak at the back post. And there is the effort at that back post. O'Shea, I think it was. Good work. In fact, it was Sutherland there, the central defender, coming forward. Couldn't quite get his header on target. But a real strength of his ability in the air. Now Warren. O'Shea battling away. Does it fall to Gaytatsis? Sanchez, was he fouled there by Erkin? Referee just having to settle things down there. Erkin into the back of Sanchez. Adrian Arndt just calming the players down. 6 months they've waited. And straight into the tackles. Adrian Arndt is going to have a chat here. Sutherland has a... goes to the sideline to get some treatment. Abbassad calling for a yellow card there. But the referee, Adrian Arndt, just happy to give Erkin a warning for that challenge on Alex Sanchez. What a start it's been. 0-0 it remains. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Tony Tanous here with you on the Football New South Wales YouTube and NPL New South Wales Facebook page. Here's Raul Benet. Excellent work from him again to find the space. And now he finds Blair Brown. Can he go past the defender? Was it a foul? It was on the edge of the box. Excellent work again from the Sharks. Raul Benet turning on a dime in that midfield. And we've already seen his quality. And he's here the player that's going to step up from this set piece. Excellent work to get Blair Brown in there. And Blair Brown taking on his defender. Double teamed, but winning a free kick. So a set piece here. Poliak's the player with the ball. Mark Warren's also over the ball. They're the two players that have taken on the responsibility here. Two of the senior players in this side, both with A-League experience. Henderson's put his wall up and Haji Gligor's dropped to the line. Polyak steps up and goes low. Henderson gets down and saves, pushes it around the corner. But good work from Polyak, got that one on target. And it's another set piece here for the Sharks. Jordan Morphetus. Goes to the back post. The header away. Polyak picks up the loose ball all the way back to Erkin. On the left foot, can't get it past Madonis. Foul in the back play there. Yanis Adabju right on the spot. Erkin playing the ball. And Alex Sanchez getting a little bit back perhaps for that earlier challenge from Erkin. And Erkin stayed down after that one. The assistant referee, Yanis Adabju, right on the spot. And Adrian Arndt's going over to have a chat to him now. Let's see what comes of this. Erkin got Sanchez earlier. And now Sanchez has got him back. And he's gone into the book. So the first yellow card goes to Sydney Olympics, Alex Sanchez. For a late foul on Erkin, he played the ball forward. So this one started with a bit of fire already. I mentioned 6 months in the waiting. Sanchez not happy at all. Felt he had earned the yellow card earlier, a few minutes ago, in that challenge from Erkin. Erkin didn't get one. So feeling a sense of injustice. Has to settle down though. Sutherland giving the ball away. Can Olympic come forward quick? Such a feature for them last season. A quick transition. But they like to come through the middle. Shark setting up with the mid-block here. Happy to let them come to halfway and then forcing them back and forcing them long. This time Gaitatsis, the foul from Mark Warren. Already a bit of niggle in this one. Gaitatsis looking to play on quick. In the end, he slows it down for Koleski. Nikola Koleski spent a bit of the off-season injured with a quad injury. Back last week in the starting lineup for round one. Here he is with the ball to the back post. Cheng happy to let that run all the way through to Polyak. Now he can lay it forward to Cheng in transition. Continues his run forward. The ball forward from Olympic. Erkin has a bit of work to do. Finds Sutherland. Now he can look to switch it out to Morphetus. Like to get him in one-on-one situations where he can drive forward. Can't quite combine there with Juan Carlos Romero. Here is Juan Carlos. It's a foul though against the Sutherland Sharks. Koleski looking to play it off Raul Benet there. Referee Adrian Hunt having none of that. It's cooled down here at Belmore, been a warm day. But a hot start on the pitch. Here's Junior Arndt coming forward down that left-hand side. Now Polyak competing with Haji Gligor. Blair Brown just swapped momentarily with Cheng. Ball goes forward for Romero. And now it's McKenzie. Down to Arn. Erkin with the knockdown. Here's Pavicevic trying his luck from range. We saw that right throughout the season last year. Not afraid to try his luck. Got himself 7 goals for the season. Second on the goal scorers charts for Olympic, behind Sanchez. Alongside Max Burgess, both of them, Pavicevic and Burgess, getting 7. Madonis with 6. So the goals mainly coming from that front 4 for Olympic. Benet probably giving the ball up for the first time in this match. Here's Madonis. Will Angels battle with Morphetus off the ball there. A foul called against Morphetus this time. A bit going on in the back play. Sutherland certainly here to compete. And that's been the game plan for Terry Palapanis. They want to be compact. They want to be aggressive. And when they get that ball, they want to shift it out to the other side quickly. So they've done their homework. Certainly not going to be intimidated. They want to compete. Here's Warren. Getting it forward to Raul Benet. Trying to skip past Angel, who does well defensively and finds Haji Gligor. Almost like a new signing, Haji Gligor for Olympic. We saw him go down with a serious injury in the early half of the season. Missed the majority of the season last year. Came back on grand final day in the squad. What a sight that was. And played in the NPL finals in that quarter-final win over Perth SC. Also in the semi-final loss to Campbelltown, the eventual NPL champions from South Australia. So it's good to see Haji Gligor back towards the end of last season. Worked so hard when he wasn't really expected to come back. And here he is combining with Madonis. Earning a free kick. Mark Warren slowing it down there. Is he going to go into the book? Yes, he's the first player booked for the Sutherland Sharks. Just holding up that quick free kick. Olympic wanted to go quick. So Mark Warren joining Alex Sanchez. In referee Adrian Arndt's book. 1 yellow card apiece. Here's Whiteside, out to Angel. Again, Madonis provides down that right-hand flank. Slightly overhit again by Will Angel. Good battle this one. Warren trying to hold Madonis. Morphetus trying to do the work on Will Angel. Here's Raul Benet. Back to his skipper. Whiteside versus Romero. Whiteside wins out. Now they get it forward to Alex Sanchez. Trying to combine there. Good work though by O'Shea just to work back into that space in front of the back two. Pat O'Shea, as we mentioned, played his junior football at the Sutherland Sharks. So real stalwart of the club. Left last season for St. George, back up to the top flight. Player that Palapanis likes to work his team around. Playing in that key holding midfield role. Missing for the Sutherland Sharks today is Everett. Another of the holding midfielders out suspended today. Everett along with Brown, one of only a couple of players that remained at the Sharks. They lost a couple of players right on the eve of the season, including Giancarlo Galifuoco, who left for the West Sydney Wanderers. You would have seen that signing midweek, and he featured for the Wanderers on Friday night in Brisbane. So he was a key signing for Terry Palapanis, was meant to play in the centre of defence
for the Sharks. Also, Lennox Tweniboa retiring on the eve of the season for family reasons. So losing a couple of key central defenders. That's given Erkin and Harry Sutherland first shot in the centre of defence. Also lost Jacob Tratt, who was a re-signing for the Sharks, but of course ended up at Sydney FC after a stellar season for him in last season's NPL. So that's a real challenge for Terry Palapanis, and they've got some work to do here. Sutherland does well, though. Finds Raoul Benet. Presto quickly was Polyak. Olympic like to win the ball high. That's one of Abassad's features. Like to play on the front foot, press high, win the ball in the opposition half. And they're putting pressure on the Sharks here. Winning a throw-in high up the pitch. And we're going to have a bit of a drinks break. Warm conditions I mentioned earlier. It's cooled down a little bit, but it's been a warm one here. So referee Adrian Arndt just bringing a halt to proceedings. 29 minutes in here at Belmore Sports Ground. Tony Tanous with you on the Football New South Wales live stream. What great news we have for you last week. The news of 445 games live streamed, a 3-year deal announced at the NPL New South Wales season launch last year. All the men's games in the top tier of the New South Wales Premier League. All the women's games as well in the top tier. All the men's under 20s games. And a match of the round in men's NPL 2. So 445 games. We've been the pioneers of live streaming in Football New South Wales over the last season. Some terrific success with the live streams last year, where we had 2 games in the men's featured every round. Some big support for that from our great audience. Hope you are enjoying the coverage of this one. 0-0 it remains, but all the games across Super Sunday, 11 live streams for you on the NPL New South Wales Facebook page and also on Football New South Wales YouTube. 6 in the men's 1 competition. We've got some progress scores for you at Blacktown City. It is 1-0 the host, Blacktown over Mount Druitt Town Rangers, the promoted Mount Druitt Town Rangers in a derby there. That's featured on the live stream with Dave McDonald behind the mic. Over in Wollongong, 15 minutes remain. And Wollongong Wolves drawing 1-1 at the moment against Manly United. With Nate Patrick behind the mic on our live stream there. Coming up shortly at 5 p.m. 2 games kicking off there. We've got Harcoa over at Hensley hosting Sydney United. Nicholas Kutniak will be behind the mic for that one. And over at Adensor Park, Adam Santaros will take you through the action. Sydney United versus Rockdale City. And later on, 7 p.m, Will Gotsis will bring you the action from Lambert Park, where Apia Leichhardt Tigers taking on Manly Marconi Stallions. But we're back underway here at Belmore Sports Ground. Tony Tanous with you. 32nd minute here. It remains 0-0, but what a tight competitive game it's been. The ball over the top here for Blair Brown, battling away against Zach McKenzie. The defender coming out on top, but a good ball over the top there from Jordan Morphetus. And the thumbs up there from Brown. Got him in a one-on-one situation. Certainly what Palapanis will be looking for there. Trying to expose Brown and Morphetus in those one-on-one situations. Using their speed. Great news for Terry Palapanis with the signing of Quivi Fowler, another youngster who made an impression last year at Wollongong Wolves in the early part of the season. No action for him in this one. He only arrived on Friday, where he's been overseas. Left Wollongong at the midway point of last season. But he's back in the New South Wales top tier with the Sutherland Sharks. He'll certainly be one to watch when he's back on deck, possibly from next week. Quivi Fowler. Here's O'Shea trying to find Brown. Junior Arn forced back into those defensive duties. What an adaptable player he is, Junior Ahn. Saw last season, started at left back, worked his way into the midfield, also played in the top third. Player who can play in so many positions. O'Shea trying his luck as the ball falls. Can't get that one on target. Not shy in having a shot though. Also got action for you in NPL 2 competition at the moment. Couple of games in progress. Rotherham Lions, who had a win last week, leading St George. FA by 2 goals. 3 goals to 1 in fact. And 40 minutes in at Plume Park, Central Coast Mariners 0, West Sydney Wanderers in the battle of the A-League academies. 0-0 it remains in that one. Saw 5 games played across NPL 2 men's last night. Our featured game came to you from Valentine Sports Park, our match of the round live stream, and it was a comprehensive 5-1 win to Spirit FC over Canterbury Bankstown. Very impressive performance from them. David Perkovic's side. Also Hills Brumbies winning 4-2 over the Bonnyrigg White Eagles. So the team that was relegated from the top tier, starting the season with 2 losses, Bonnyrigg White Eagles. Macarthur Rams beating Blacktown Spartans 1-0. North Shore Mariners, a big win on the road against the Mounties Wanderers. One of the favourites, the Mounties Wanderers, and they've only got 1 point so far from 2 rounds. So Bomber Brown with a bit of work to do. Assembled a great squad there at Mounties, but only 1 point so far from 6. And Northern Tigers with 2 wins on the spin to join Spirit at the top of the competition. Win over St George. Big win that with a late winner, stoppage time winner. So action coming to you thick and fast. We've got 5 streams going in the women's NPL at the moment as well. Koalas in action against the emerging Jets. Manly United in action against the Macarthur Rams. Bankstown City taking on Sydney Uni, one of the favourites for the competition. Just on the other side of the hill here at Belmore, at Peter Moore, Sydney Olympic taking on Blacktown Spartans. And the match of the round coming to you from Valentine Sports Park, Football New South Wales Institute against the Northern Tigers. We got one more stream coming to you midweek. Illawarra Stingrays on Wednesday. They'll be taking on the North Shore Mariners. So certainly keep an eye out for that one on Wednesday night. Here at Belmore, we've had 36 minutes. Couple of chances at both ends, but the respect shown now. As Olympic try and build up patiently. Sutherland just dropping off. Playing that middle block, as we said. Can they go forward quickly here through Poliak? Trying to shake off the midfielders. Now he gets it to Raoul Benet. Challenge coming in there. In fact, referee Adrian Arndt seeing no advantage. Calling it back for Mateo Poliak. Certainly with such big changes for the Sutherland Sharks. Terry Palapanis has been muted in his ambition. Certainly looking to build something at the moment. So many players stepping up from NPL 2, looking for that opportunity. Some youngsters also coming up from the under-20s. I mentioned Harry Sutherland. We've got Thomas Papper also on the bench. Big turnover of players. Here's Raoul Benet. Can't quite find Brown. Henderson happy to punch. Finds Pavicevic. And now he can drive forward and look to combine with Sanchez. Bit isolated there, and Quinton Cheng comes away with it for the Sharks. Now O'Shea. Cheng looking for Benet. Erkin again into the back of Sanchez. Sanchez not liking that one. Got to be careful. Sanchez already on a yellow card. Certainly can't think about the afters. Erkin was in strong there. The yellow cards come out. Looks like Erkin will go into the book, but Sanchez has got to be extremely careful here. Already on a yellow card and fired up here. Can't be taking matters into his own hands. What a contest it's been between those two. Erkin this time into the back again strong. Got away with one early. And he stayed down injured after that challenge. Mention a player. Spent 4 years at St. George. Ended up with the captain's armband there. Took them all the way to a championship. Terrific service he gave to St. George. That's given him the opportunity to get the step up with a coach he worked with at St. George. And he's had a solid start to this game, but it looks like he's going to go into the book. The movement of Sanchez. Trying not to give him any space there. Interesting to see what Adrian Arndt does with the Spaniard. Already on a yellow card, he's got to be very careful. Probably giving him his final warning here. In fact, talking to Mark Warren, the Sutherland skipper. And it is a yellow card to Tariq Erkin. So both those players on a yellow card. Tariq Erkin. Joining Mark Warren, who was booked in the 26th minute. So two players booked for the Sharks. Sanchez booked in the 19th minute for Sydney Olympic. Bit to ponder for Palapanis as Erkin limps off, the central defender. We've already seen Harry Sutherland get a bit of treatment as well. That's certainly been a focus area in the build-up to this game. Mentioned losing a couple of key recruits on the eve of the season. So a big opportunity as O'Shea drops into the defence for now. Cheng with a bit of defensive work. O'Shea it is who clears. Erkin still getting treatment on that far side. Can update you from JJ Kelly where Wollongong have taken the lead. 2-1 over Manly United. So Wollongong Wolves. Luke Wilkshire, his first game as coach in the New South Wales NPL. With about 5 minutes and stoppage time remaining in that one. Wollongong with a 2-1 lead. At Lilies it remains 1-0. Blacktown City over Mount Druitt Town Rangers. In the 82nd minute there. Here at Belmore, we're in the 42nd minute. And it remains 0-0 if you've just joined us. Tony Tanous with you for Football New South Wales YouTube and NPL New South Wales Facebook. Hope you're enjoying the live stream. Remember, we're interactive. Leave comments throughout. Be sure to share the stream around. What a season we've got lined up for you. The head-to-head between these two. Last year, Olympic winning both games. 3-0 in round 9. Here's Sanchez. Can't quite round that one up. 3-0 it was in round 9. That was at Seymour Shaw. And then here in round 20, it was Olympic coming out 3-1 winners. Sanchez bagging a couple on that occasion. Olympic, in fact, have won the past 4 between these two sides. The Sharks have only won 1 of the past 10 between the two. So Olympic have won 9 out of the past 10. No draws in 5 years between these two sides, so we generally expect goals between these two. We've got none for you so far, but at least 3 goals have been scored in 10 of the past 11 games between these two sides. So this game usually delivers plenty of goals. Nothing so far as Benet picks up the ball in midfield. And now he gets it forward. He's Juan Carlos Romero. Hasn't got the speed to skip past Mackenzie. In the end, a foul by Juan Carlos. And here's Nikola Kaleski playing in that holding role alongside Haji Gligor. Angel can't quite keep that one in as Morphetus does his work defensively. Mentioned Morphetus coming out of the West Sydney Wanderers Academy. Talented player. Really started to mature under Palapanis at St. George. Scored 5 goals last season. He's been given the opportunity to step up into the top tier. Here is Pavicevic. Now driving forward. Working back was Morphetus. Pavicevic still battling away. Warren. Madonis there, strong on Morphetus. Peels from the Sutherland Sharks for a yellow card. Strong challenge there from Madonis. Referee Adrian Arndt giving the free kick to the Sharks. Seen a few of Sutherland Shark players go down with injuries. Morphetus, it was a strong challenge there. As we go into injury time here in the first half of the round 1 clash from Belmore Sports Ground. 3 minutes of stoppage time. The 4th official, Harrison Sapie's just held up the board. So 3 minutes of stoppage time in the first period here. 0-0 it remains. Tony Tanous with you. Not many chances so far. Both defences on top. We have seen some good play though from the likes of Raoul Benet, particularly in the first 15 minutes. Found a lot of possession. Wants the ball short here. Morphetus is over the corner. In there's O'Shea. Putting pressure on the keeper is Blair Brown. Not liking that one, Henderson. Brown right under the nose of the keeper. Henderson not enjoying that physical work. And the referee going across to sort it out. Not much height. Mark Warren's in there as well. Sutherland, we've seen him on the end of a set piece already. Here's Benet, dropping it short for Morphetus. Can't get that one on target. Certainly a player with the quality to get that on target. Not finding his range there. Jordan Morphetus. And 0-0 it remains. So into stoppage time in Wollongong. They remain 2-1 up over Manly United. And at Lilies, Blacktown City in the 88th minute, leading 1-0 over Mount Druitt Town Rangers. Can the Rangers find a late equaliser in their first top-tier game? Sutherland clearing there, and now it's a set piece for Olympic in stoppage time. And the chant goes up for the first time here at Belmore. We saw them score some spectacular goals from this exact spot last year. One you'll remember was crowned the 2018 goal of the season from Tom Whiteside. A scorpion kick from this exact spot. Junior Arn with the delivery. Goes to the near post. Now as far as Madonis. Can't get that one down. Strike over the top. Sutherland have done well not to be counter-attacked here. That was really the game plan from Terry Palapanis. Knows the threat that Olympic do pose in transition. We saw that last year. Sutherland under Grant Lee. particularly in that first fixture at Seymour Shore. They were exposed in transition. Olympic like to counter-attack through the middle. But the Sharks not pushing their fullbacks on. Making sure there's protection from the likes of Polyak and O'Shea. And it's been an excellent first half performance from the Sutherland Sharks, which sees them go into the break in this round one clash. 0-0 it is between Sydney Olympic and the Sutherland Sharks. Not too many chances at either side. Sutherland starting with some real high tempo and earning the respect of Olympic, who are crowding the referee at the moment. It's been a physical battle in this first half. Hope you have enjoyed it. We're going to take a short break and be back with more action in the second half. But at the break, it is Sydney Olympic 0, Sutherland Sharks 0. And it's welcome back to Belmore Sports Ground. It is round one action in the New South Wales National Premier League Men's 1 competition. Sydney Olympic, the hosts, the champions, being held to a goalless draw at the break against the Sutherland Sharks. The new look Sutherland Sharks under Terry Palapanis made a real impression. If you've just joined us in this for the start of the second half, it was an impressive performance from the Sharks. Combative, aggressive, physical, but also showing a bit of poise on the ball, particularly when they got it to the feet of the likes of Raoul Benet and Jordan Morphetus. 0-0 it is at the break. So the test's been thrown to last year's premiers and champions. Abbasad addressing his team at the break, and we're here for second half action. Tony Tanous with you on Football New South Wales YouTube and NPL New South Wales Facebook. And we're about to get the second half underway. Adrian Arndt, and it is Sydney Olympic in the all blue kicking us off, running from right to left. One of 3 games currently taking place in the Men's 1 competition. We've just seen 2 games get underway between Harcoa and Sydney FC at Hensley. Meanwhile, at Edensor Park, Sydney United taking on Rockdale. Remember, live stream action, Super Sunday, 11 live streams across the Men's 1 and the Women's 1. Can give you full-time scores in the Men's 1. 2 earlier games at Lilies, Blacktown City coming out 1-0 winners over Mount Druitt Town Rangers. And down in Wollongong, Luke Wiltshire off to a winning start. His life in the men's top tier. A 2-1 win for them over Manly United. Be sure to catch up with all the match reports, all the great photo galleries from our reporters and our photographers across the NPL New South Wales scene. Expect the usual high standards of coverage. All the men's top tier games on today. Apia taking on Marconi in a blockbuster later on. 7 p.m. kickoff there at Lambert Park. Traditional derby, that one. Sure to join Will Gotsis from 7 p.m. across our Football New South Wales platforms. But here's an early opportunity for Sydney Olympic. It is Jason Madonis with a corner. This time he goes near post. Mark Warren it is with the defensive header down. The 2 experienced players in Poliak combining. They can't keep it though, and it comes back through the Sydney Olympic skipper, Madonis. Can he find the target inside? Goes all the way across to Pavicevic. Erkin away. Excellent turn from Morphetus. Goes past another. Tries to take on Jinya Ahn, who holds him up. And now Morphetus working back. And a late challenge there in the midfield. It was Haji Gligor on Pat O'Shea. Really fortunate to get away with that one, Haji Gligor. Perhaps his first challenge. And Adrian Arndt's just going to have a word to him. But it is a free kick to the Sutherland Sharks. We're going to see an early change here. So it looks like one of the signings from Sydney FC in Jeremy Cox. He's one of the top scorers for Sydney FC in last year's NPL 1. So he's going to come on for Tariq Erkin. You can see his heavily strapped ankle there, limping off earlier. So Tariq Erkin is making his debut in the top flight. It's an early shower for him. But a strong performance in a physical battle with Alex Sanchez. Sitting on a yellow card he was. So let's see a bit of a tactical adjustment here from Terry Palapanis. as Erkin comes off. Replaced by Jeremy Cox. Looks like Blair Brown's gone back into that defence I mentioned in the first half. An adaptable player, played in central defence last year. Also played in the centre of midfield as well. Started today on the right side of attack. Didn't get much change out of Junior Ahn. So we're seeing Cox come on in the number 9 role through the centre. And Juan Carlos Romero's gone over to the right-hand side. And now Cheng finds Romero. Inside for Polyak, in fact, and he turns. Good play from Polyak, now looking to bring Cox into the game. Shadowed by Zach McKenzie. Mentioned the 3-0 win to Sydney Olympic in the corresponding match last season. It was 0-0 at the break in that one. Sydney Olympic opening it up in the second half with goals from Pavicevic and 2 from Madonis. Coming out 3-0 winners on that occasion. Mentioned there's not been a draw between these two sides. In the past 5 years at least. Olympic have a great record against the Sharks. They've won 9 of the past 10 matches. Sharks have only won 1. But here they are trying to break forward through Romero. Now they get it out to Warren. Keeping composed here, finding Romero, the header down. Cleared away by McKenzie. You can see what Romero is trying to do there, looking to knock it down to his compatriot. Raul Benet coming forward from that number 10 role. Romero mentioned, prolific goal scorer last year for St. George and Mounties Wanderers. Raul Benet as well. Managed to bag 10 for the season, 7 for St. George. Here he is on the edge of the box, Raul Benet. Now onto the left foot. The block comes from Gligor. And the clearance from Whiteside. Blair Brown shielding Sanchez. So the speed of Blair Brown alongside Harry Sutherland. No doubt Terry Palapanis would have trained that in the pre-season. Blair Brown's adaptability. Here's Sutherland looking long for Juan Carlos. Inside to Quinton Cheng. Good drive from the youngster. Now he gets a forward. Important defensive play there. Tom Whiteside denying Cox, who was waiting there at the back post. Excellent bit of play from Quinton Cheng. And the combination with Juan Carlos there. Powerful from the back. Mentioned the player has come into the top flight from Central Coast Mariners Academy. You can see that forward thrust there. Was very conservative in that first half. Only saw him venture forward a couple of occasions. But showing his engine there. Can give you an update in the action from NPL 2 as well. We've got a full-time score at Valentine Sports Park, Rydalmere, with their second win of the season. So terrific start to life for Chris Camilleri. 3-1 win to Rydalmere Lions over St. George. FA there. And the Central Coast Mariners currently 1-1 against West Sydney Wanderers. And just over an hour played at Plume Park. In the men's NPL 1, nil all at all 3 grounds. Hakawa against Sydney FC at Hensley. Sydney United at home to Rockdale City. 2 of the teams fancied this season. And here at Belmore, it remains 0-0. The Sharks doing a good job defensively. Playing in the opposition half for the start of this half. Saw them sit back in the second half of that first half. But as they did in the first period, starting on the front foot, really asking questions of the champions, who've struggled to get this man, Harry Gatatsis, on the ball. And there he is, fouled. Player who has come into that vacant number 10 role, vacated by Max Burgess in the pre-season. It's been a combination of Harry Gatatsis and also the youngster Dimi Petratos. I mentioned him on the bench, the cousin of the Jets and Socceroos star Dimi Petratos. Player who's featured in the NPL under-20 sides for Rockdale and Sydney United. Abbasad's brought him across this season. Played in the under-20s earlier. A 2-1 win for Sydney Olympic there. He's Sanchez in behind. The flag's gone up for offside though. Not quite timing the run in behind. Blair Brown not quite clicking so far in that front third. Movement from Sanchez. He'll keep making those runs though. Saw that right throughout the season last year. Not quite timed. The ball in behind from Pavicevic. Here's Pavicevic working back defensively. Good work from him. And now Sanchez in behind Brown. And now he's got Gatatsis in the middle. Goes further on to Madonis. He's a chance. The save from Bazanis. Madonis again. And Bazanis comes up strong for the second time in a row. Terrific action here at Belmore. We just talked about the counter-attack of Sydney Olympic. And there they were. Sanchez getting in behind Brown. And getting it forward to Madonis. And Anthony Bazanis coming up strong on two occasions. Flicking the switch there, the champions. Blair Brown caught on the wrong side of the ball. And here they are with the set piece. Goes near post again, the flick on. Again, defensive work. Here's Gatatsis trying to turn on the edge of the box. Got to be careful. Romero does enough. And now the chance to counter-attack through Morphetus. Out to Raul Benet. Here he is. Can he go? At Kaleski. Raul Benet ducking inside. And now trying to slip it through to Cox. Counter-attack at one end. Sutherland Sharks trying to hit back at the other end. Suddenly the tempo's lifted. We mentioned that first round match last season, where it was 0-0 at half-time. We had that on the live stream. And Olympic flicking the switch in that second period, scoring a couple of quick goals. Here's Cox trying to ask questions at the other end, battling away with Mackenzie. And now it falls. It's a free kick, though, against Juan Carlos. And here is Madonis, who had a couple of great chances a moment ago. Out to the right-hand side through Gligor. Now Pavicevic, who's switched over sides momentarily. Mark Warren doing a good defensive job, though. Not getting much change on that far side. Experienced defender Mark Warren, given the responsibility of the captain's armband by Terry Palapanis. Didn't quite cement his position at either Apia or Marconi last season. Here's the cross inside, looking for Madonis. Cheng's headed down, only as far as Kaleski. And Jinyan does well to play it off. Juan Carlos there. The ball into the feet of Haji Gligor. Now Mackenzie, under pressure, plays it forward. Contested ball here. Olympic come away with it. And now Pavicevic looking for Sanchez. Good defensive work though, Polyak, just to get in ahead of Gligor. Excellent ball from Juan Carlos, and Benet keeps it. Now chance to counter-attack through Morphetus. Whiteside trying to hold him up. Excellent defending from the Olympic central defender. Morphetus still in possession. And now Benet's found some space here. Raul Benet. Can he take on Gligor? And now he cuts a square. Juan Carlos! In the end, the deflection there off Mackenzie. And it's a corner to the Sharks. Rapid counter-attack from them. Morphetus has stayed down after that earlier collision near halfway. Referee just going over to check on his well-being at the moment. Player known as JJ among his teammates. Seen Raul Benet lift the tempo, started his second half. A really cultured footballer. Hope you are enjoying his performance. Be sure to leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts. Tony Tanus with you. Here's a set piece. Mark Warren goes near post. Chance at the back post now. And it's on target. No, it's off target in fact, all the way through. And Jinya Ahn clears. An opportunity there. It was Juan Carlos at the back post. Talk about how prolific he was last season, particularly in that first half of the season for St. George. Here's Jeremy Cox. Haji Gligor it was, sticking to his defensive duties. So it's another corner here for the Sutherland Sharks. Warren's gone across to take this one again. The back post is Juan Carlos. In there is Jeremy Cox. Morphetus as well. Polyak and Sutherland on the edge of the box. They go short this time. Raul Benet, can he get the cross in? Again, it's Gligor doing the defensive work. Bit of a variation there from Palapanis. Certainly the type of coach that does like to prepare and keep the opposition guessing. Going the short corner there as we see a substitution, the first for Olympic. 61 minutes in, it is to be a debut for the youngster that's come across from Blacktown City in Jack Stewart. He's come out of the Blacktown City under-20s. It's been a regular feature in their pre-season. So he goes over to that right-hand side. We'll likely see either Pavicevic or Madonna slip into the role, the 10 behind Alex Sanchez. Looks like it's Pavicevic for now. Here's Jack Stewart with his first touch, trying to play forward. Mark Warren hasn't given many of his play. Oh, Mark Warren! What an opportunity that was! Almost catching Henderson off his line there. And what a recovery it was from the veteran keeper. Was that a cross from Warren? In any case, Henderson backtracking and managing to get a glove to it. Excellent recovery from the keeper. Looked like he'd been caught out for a moment. An important defensive work to pounce on the loose ball from Olympic. They've given away a corner here. But it's been an excellent start to the second half from the Sharks. 0-0 it remains. Warren goes back post again. Sutherland's the target. Couldn't quite get on the end of it. We've seen some variations from Sutherland. Couple whipped in at the near post. Couple at the back post. Couple of short corners as well. Got a couple of goals to report from Hensley Athletic Field. Sydney FC taking the lead, but Harkoa managing to equalise there. 23 minutes in, it's 1-1. Here's Olympic coming forward. Quinton Cheng using his speed there. Great athletic attributes. Pounced on one of the real powerhouses in the top tier in Jinya Ahn there, not giving him any space. Ahn with the knockdown. Forward by Polyak. And now O'Shea. Morphetus. Now Juan Carlos. Here is Morphetus. He's got Cox in the middle. Is he going to go to the byline here? Madonis, faced by Madonis, and now he tries to take two on. Madonis does well though, doubles up with Jinya Ahn. And it's a free kick to Olympic for the foul by Morphetus. Certainly speaking to Abbassad during the week, he certainly knows they'll go from being the chaser to being the chased as the double winners, the premiers and champions last year, really set the pace in the first half of the year. Apia came back and reeled them in, and what a dramatic finish it was to the regular season. Apia slipping up at home to Harkoa on the final day. Sydney Olympic winning here at Belmore to be crowned premiers. Then they knocked off Sydney United in an impressive semi-final, first into the grand final. 4-0 on that occasion, beating Sydney United, and then in the grand final, beating Apia 3-1. 24 games, 17 wins. Only 4 losses. So it was a stellar season from Abbassad's men. And they really set the tempo, set the bar. But they know that this year the pressure will be on. And certainly showing that are the Sutherland Sharks here. We saw that last year, a real trend in the New South Wales competition. The depth right through. Even Sydney FC finished at the bottom, were very competitive in every game. Sutherland Sharks not losing many games by more than a goal or 2 margin. And they've started this season showing that they mean business under their new manager. Ball to the back post. Unable to get on the end of it there. Now Blair Brown plays it forward. Olympic trying to mount a rare attack in this second half, but again it's broken up by Sutherland. Can Cox combine with Juan Carlos Romero? Here is the Spaniard trying to slip it through for Cox. He's onside and he buries it. And Jeremy Cox gives Sutherland the lead here at Belmore. Is an upset on the cards in round 1. Excellent through ball from Juan Carlos Romero. And Jeremy Cox, who's come off the bench, has given Terry Palapanis' side a 1-0 lead here. Have we got a shock for you? We said this team was well set up and well organised. Did they have the quality to ask the questions of Sydney Olympic? And they're showing that here in this second half. It's been an impressive performance after the break. Olympic was starting to get on top before the halftime break, but Sutherland have really come out. And aren't they asking a question of the champions here? Cox with the opener on 68 minutes. And how will the champions respond? The ball into Gligor. Now Cox again. This time Whiteside picks it up. And now Stewart. Can't connect though. And now the counter-attack's on. Cheng starting to get forward a little bit more in this second half. Happy to slow it down though. Not the greatest of balls. Raul Benet keeps it in though. Here he is again. It's the Sharks considering a second substitution here, although another player's gone down. Just keep an eye on who this is. Jordan Morphetus. Looks like we're going to see another substitution here from Terry Palapanis. Looks like it's another of the youngsters in Alex Lopez. So Morphetus is at the end of the action from him. Alex Lopez is the player that has come on for Morphetus. So Alex Lopez, a player that's come out of the West Sydney Wanderers Academy. Player who can play anywhere across the front three in the 9, 10 or 11 role. Looks like he's gone out on that left flank. A direct swap for Morphetus. Good shift from a former West Sydney Wanderers Academy player in Morphetus. His debut in the top flight. A foul behind the play there from Polyak. So Palapanis has made 2 substitutions. Abassad's gone to the bench once, bringing on Jack Stewart. He's the long ball looking for Sanchez. Trying to put the challenge on Cheng. Again, the youngster stands up defensively. Productive afternoon so far from Quentin Cheng. Excellent finish it was from Jeremy Cox, one of the first players signed by Palapanis in the pre-season. Lost a couple of key attackers. Last year, one of the stars for the Sharks was Nicholas Olsen. Certainly wanted to keep him. Now they go on the counter-attack again. Trying to slip it through to Cox there was Lopez, getting his first touch. Causing a threat now in transition. Raul Benet looks like he's dropped a little bit deeper here just to pull the strings and control things. Here he is asking for the ball. Just keeping it now with Warren. Strong performance so far from those 2 holding midfielders in Polyak and Pat O'Shea. Blair Brown now with the challenge on Pavicevic. Keeper comes out. Bazanis all the way to the edge of the box. Had to make a decision. Sutherland. Good communication between the keeper and his defender. Here is O'Shea, trying to get it through to Lopez. Making that angled run inside, couldn't quite connect. But Sutherland, what a shock here. Terry Palapanis, we've said what a sterling job he's done in NPL 2. Spent 7 years at St George before moving to the Mounties midway through the season last year, but started off as a technical director and football director at St George. Started coaching in 2016. Some drama at the beginning of last season when he was sacked on the eve of the season. But after a player revolt, he was reinstated. Coached there for 7 games at St George before moving on to the Mounties. As we see another substitution here, Nikola Kaleski coming off, and Darcy Burgess back in the country after going on a trial to Spain. As we're going to get a drinks break here in this second half. If we take a drinks break in the first half, we have to take one in the second half. Conditions have certainly cooled down, but the earlier heat, sensible decision at the start of the season. Players just building back into the season. And this gives Abassad a chance just to address his troops with 17 minutes remaining here at Belmore. What can Sydney Olympic find? Palapanis also on the pitch just addressing his team as they take a drink here. It's been an excellent first half of the second half from the Sutherland Sharks, really on the front foot. Playing with a higher defensive line. Olympic struggling to get out. Struggling to really move it through that midfield. But Abassad now with a chance just to address his team. Gives me a chance to update you around the grounds. At Hensley, it remains 1-1 between Hakoah, Sydney City East and Sydney FC. And at Edensor Park, 0-0 it is between Sydney United and Rockdale City. Rockdale with Paninikis in the starting lineup. Certainly back at the ground where he had some success at Sydney United, but in a different strip this time for Rockdale. Later on, we'll have Apia against Marconi in a blockbuster round 1 clash. Apia, one of the teams that's really fought out the Premiership and Championship the last couple of seasons. Missed out on Grand Final Day 2 seasons in a row. Cruelly denied the Premiership last year on the final day, as we mentioned earlier. But they're in action at home at Lambert Park against Marconi, who've recruited heavily in the off-season. Come into it as one of the real title favourites, Peter Tsakenis. And his side looked very impressive in the pre-season. The likes of Mitch Malia, the Speranza brothers also come across from Blacktown City. Zach Cancross as well in the defence. So certainly watch out for that game a little bit later. But for now, the action coming to you from Belmore. The job ahead of Sydney Olympic here. As Sanchez turns, and what a shot that was against the post from the Spaniard. In a flash, Sanchez turned on that. Fired his shot past Buzanis and denied by the post. What a chance that was. Created out of nothing. You can't give this guy an inch. Here's Blair Brown, the challenge from behind, winning the ball, and Brown coming away with it. Excellent work from Juan Carlos there, just a turn. Angel. Will Angel have found himself there, just at left back. And a challenge from him on Juan Carlos there. So he goes into the book. Joins Alejandro Sanchez. Two players apiece booked from each team. Adonis with the header away. Olympic creating a chance a moment or so ago. Here's Sutherland. Winning a free kick through Raul Benet. Player who goes by the full name, Raul Benet Romero. But speaking to him ahead of the game, his preference is for Raul Benet, so that's what we'll do. What an impressive performance from him. And it's a set piece here for Mark Warren. Henderson, the keeper. Warren can't keep that one down. Out of the ground, in fact. Someone will have to go play fetch on that one. Olympic wanting to restart quickly. Getting it back to Henderson. Just over 12 minutes of normal time, but we'll have some additional time, obviously, for the drinks break in this second half. A couple of substitutions each as well. Here's the switch of play from Whiteside, an excellent diagonal ball for Pavicevic. Looking for the back post, no one there though for Olympic. Adonis not quite joining the attack. Junior Arn's gone into the midfield for Abassad's men. So Adonis has gone over to right back. Will Angels gone to left back. He started at right back. So Adonis has gone to right back with Jack Stewart in the attack. Darcy Burgess has gone into the number 10 role. With Junior Arn joining Haji Gligo. So Abassad shuffling the pack a little bit, trying to find that creative spark. And here's Darcy Burgess, young brother of Max. Saw him influence last night. Here's Jack Stewart. He's got Madonis driving forward. Now Madonis can't quite get the angle on that cross. Straight at Buzanis. Buzanis denying him on a couple of occasions earlier in the second half. Will Olympic come back to rue those two missed opportunities for Madonis? Here's Raul Benet. Now Whiteside. The clearance coming from Mackenzie. Olympic have shuffled the pack here. Is there a wild card for them? Darcy Burgess certainly started to impress last season. More and more game time for him. Came into the pre-season perhaps a little bit underdone, as we mentioned, been away in Spain trialling. So joined the squad midway through their pre-season. So he's only been in for 6 weeks. So getting some minutes here. Can he provide a spark off the bench? Here's the youngster Stewart. Looking in behind for the run of Sanchez. Blair Brown tracks him. Again, excellent defensive work, combining there with Sutherland. And now Mark Warren keeping his composure. Playing it in for Benet. Good work though, Gligor. Now they find Cox, the goal scorer. He's the ball in behind for Juan Carlos. Henderson off his line. Probing ball there from Raul Benet. Here he is again. Excellent first touch. He's got Lopez in behind. Is he pulled behind the play? Madonis it was. Lopez was in behind there, and a cynical foul from the Olympic skipper. And Madonis joined Sanchez and Angel in the book. Excellent play again from Raul Benet. Lopez was on his bike there. And Madonis taking one for the team. Frustrating afternoon so far for Sydney Olympic. Is Polyak going to add more misery from the set piece? Again, it's Polyak and Warren over the dead ball. You saw Polyak go low a little bit earlier in this match. Is he going to go over the wall on this occasion? Goes low again, straight into the wall. This time he dinks it over the top. The flick on from Lopez. Now down to Warren. He finds Cox. The flag goes up though. The assistant referee, Yana Shadabju, just waiting for Cox to engage there. And now Henderson wanting to go long quickly. Can't find Pavicevic. Olympic with 8 minutes to rescue this one. Lovely bit of feet there from Juan Carlos Romero. Seen some of his touches. Not quite had the explosive speed to get him behind. But his combination play with the other Spaniard and his midfielders certainly hasn't been a bad contributor for Terry Palapanis' side. Are they going to spring the big upset of round one and announce themselves to the men's top tier? Haven't played finals football since 2013, the Sutherland Sharks. Certainly had a lot of success in the 20s, grand final champions last season. Here they are coming forward through Polyak. Not far at all. Henderson stretching to his right. Polyak taking the space and driving from long range. Now Whiteside. Pavicevic trying to get him behind. Buzanis happy to shield it. Kept 7 clean sheets for Hakawa last year, did Anthony Buzanis. They're about to see the final change for Abbassad. It is to be the youngster mentioned earlier, Dimi Petratos. Same name, related to the A-League and Socceroos star. First cousins. And Dimi Petratos comes on for Radovan Pavicevic and goes into that number 10 role. Played 60 minutes earlier for the under-20s. It's been impressive in the pre-season. Has Dimi Petratos. Playing often alongside Harry Gaitatsis. Can the youngster do something here? With just over 5 minutes of normal time remaining. Henderson it is, gets it forward to Stewart. Now Sanchez competing with Blair Brown, who's been solid since moving into that centre of defence. Now Burgess goes looking for Madonis. Good first touch from him. Was that a foul? Play on's the call from Adrian Arndt. The knockdown from Gligor. Junior Arndt keeps it moving through Will Angel. Angel coming forward. Now looking for the switch to Stewart. In the box here. 1-on-1 against Cheng. Again the youngster stands up. Good defensive work. Here's the ball now with Burgess. Looks inside, the flick on here. Chance at the back post, Sanchez. Alex Sanchez inside, queuing up. Can't get it on target, and it's Cheng away. Abbassad wants him on the front foot. Asks them to stay forward. McKenzie with the long ball over the top. Now Warren can clear. Adonis moving further forward into attack. Henderson now. Will he go long looking for Sanchez? Goes instead for Dimi Petratos. Can he get the better of Warren here? Warren shielding it. Strong work. The experienced defender there, just getting the body between the attacker and the ball. Happy to shield it out. Healthy crowd here at Belmore to see the champions in round one action. So far been muted by this performance from Sutherland. Combative and aggressive in the first half, and they've really turned it on in the second half. Not giving Olympic too much space. Certainly showing they can play when they get it forward. Showing the quality that we continue to tap into in this New South Wales NPL competition. Last season was an incredible standard, and it's only early here. And we're seeing a bit of a surprise packet. Competition that was full of drama. Expect the unexpected, and that's exactly what's been delivered here on day one. Can Olympic rescue this one? Madonis coming forward. Still going. The skipper, Jason Madonis, driving into the box. Scored a couple of great goals pre-season. Now McKenzie. Working back though. You see the fitness from Sutherland. Probably an issue for them last year. They didn't quite run out games. You can see here. Terry Palapanis certainly got them a lot fitter. Olympic coming home strong. Juan Carlos away. Now it falls to McKenzie. Inside to Darcy Burgess. Working back Raul Benet. And here he is on the ball again. Now waiting for the run of Cox. Look at the weight on that ball. Excellent defending though. Lovely ball. Raul Benet. Eyes in the side of his head there to see the run from Lopez. It was in fact. We'll just talk about the fitness. Mark Warren going down with some cramps. A few tired legs out there. First game of the season. Certainly been freshened up, both teams throughout the week. We're in action last week. Gives us a chance to give you an update around the grounds. It remains 0-0, approaching half-time out of Densell Park, Sydney United and Rockdale City. And at Hensley, it remains 1-1. That's the half-time score between Harcoa and Sydney FC. here at Belmore in the 89th minute. Just ticked into the last minute of normal time. It is Sutherland Sharks leading this by 1-0. The goal coming from Jeremy Cox in the 68th minute. Olympics' best chance falling to Alejandro Sanchez when he hit the post. Short time after that, a couple of chances to Jason Madonis early in the second half. But are we about to see a huge upset to start the season? Olympic, you imagine there'll be a few minutes of stoppage time at the drinks break, a few injuries, particularly to the Sharks. Here's Sutherland. O'Shea knocks it forward. Cox happy to flick it on. Hope you've enjoyed this. Tony Tanous with you. Just the start of things in terms of the season 2019. 11 live streams for you on Super Sunday, the opening round of the season. And we'll have all the action for you. As Olympic come forward here through Jack Stewart. Can't get past Cheng again. Excellent work from him. Now Stewart gets it into the back post. Madonis with the knockdown. Here's Dimi Petratos. Can't quite get it on target. Cleared away only as far as Stewart. Drives, knocks it into the near post. Blair Brown heard the call from Bazanis, but heard it too late. Didn't want to take any chances. As we go into stoppage time. The first minute of stoppages. And it's a set piece here to Sydney Olympic. Whiteside comes forward. So does Zach McKenzie. Bazanis comes out and punches only to the edge of the box. Will Angel, in fact it's Junior Arn picking up the loose ball. Sutherland happy to clear. Young Lopez. Here's Burgess. Blair Brown away. Now it's on the edge of the box to Dimi Petratos. Cross coming from Whiteside there. Probably not the player you want on the end of a cross. Probably the guy you want inside. And the opportunity goes for Sydney Olympic. Sutherland back in action next Saturday night at home. They'll be taking on Harcoa. So a home fixture after this one. Expect a big crowd at Seymour Shore. As for Sydney Olympic, they're away at Popondetta to the Mount Druitt Rangers. So a testy challenge for them at Popondetta next week, particularly if they come away from this one with nothing. The challenge there from Juan Carlos, heavy on Zach McKenzie, and it's going to be a yellow card. So Juan Carlos goes into the book. Joins his teammates Warren and Erkin. The ball there from Will Angel. Putting his hands out in frustration. No one there, no targets. Abbassad also frustrated, wanted a bit more quality there. Has time run out for Sydney Olympic. Certainly won't be panic stations for the team. It was so impressive last season that we talked about. Many new signings. They've strengthened the squad. But one of the key missing players, Max Burgess, can they replace his creativity? That's something they'll certainly continue to work on. As for the Sharks, talked about how organised they'll be. Terry Palapanis' game plan, and it's worked to a T here. The work from the defence has been terrific. That's probably the big question mark heading in from Sutherland. Missing the likes of Giancarlo Gualafoco, who went to West Sydney Wanderers midweek, and also Lennox Twinaboa retiring on the eve of the season. He's Olympic coming forward. Got to say, the central defenders, Tariq Erkin and Harry Sutherland, really stood up. Blair Brown has dropped in there since Erkin came off. And the work of the two wide defenders as well, Quinton Cheng and Mark Warren, they've been conservative. Here they are at the other end through Lopez! Alex Lopez, has he scored? Oh, just wide, shaking off his player. Play stopped there. In fact, it is a free kick in the end. As Olympic come forward through Jack Stewart. Is there one last chance? Quinton Cheng again. Strong defensive work from him and wins a free kick. The two youngsters coming together there. Stewart not happy with that physical work. Jack Stewart, a player, scored 7 goals for Blacktown City in the under-20s last season. Getting a taste of the top flight here. Not quite able to make an impact today. Plenty more game time to come for him. Here's Henderson. Mackenzie can't quite keep that one in, but in the story of the night for Olympic. Not quite working for them. And it is a huge upset in round 1 of the men's New South Wales National Premier League. Sutherland Sharks have come to the home of the champions under a new manager in Terry Palapanis, and a squad which only features 2 players from last season's squad. A massive turnover. The cream of New South Wales NPL 2 has risen here to cause a huge upset at Belmore. A 1-0 win to the Sutherland Sharks. The goal coming from Jeremy Cox, a delightfully slipped through ball, and the finish from Jeremy Cox in the 68th minute sees Terry Palapanis aside cause a boil over here. Been a pleasure bringing you the coverage here from Belmore Sports Ground. Round 1 action. It's finished Sydney Olympic 1. Sydney Olympic 0, Sutherland Sharks 1. Do stay with us on the NPL New South Wales feeds across YouTube and Facebook. We'll have more coverage to you. You can switch over to the games coming to you from Harcoa and also at Densor Park, and shortly we'll be coming to you live as well at 7 o'clock from Lambert Park, where Apia Leichhardt Tigers will be taking on the Marconi Stallions. But for now, from Belmore Sports Ground, it's finished Sydney Olympic 0, Sutherland Sharks 1.